What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is great to see you here again. I hope you're all doing well. And today we're going to be talking about audio. I'm going to show you how to make your audio sound better and more professional. I'm going to share my workflow with you, and hopefully it's going to work for you too and make your audio sound more professional. But hey, if you're new here, my name's Jay Yudlowski, and here we talk a lot about DaVinci Resolve, a little photography, Photoshop, Lightroom, and even some gear stuff, because everybody loves some gear stuff, right? So if you're into any of those, consider subscribing to my channel. So now let's jump into this video. All right, so today we're talking audio. One of my favorite things, love me some good audio, and I'm sure you guys do too. So I'm going to show you my workflow on how I make my audio sound better, more professional, show you the tools that I use, and I think if you use these tools, they're going to help your audio sound better and more professional too. So there's obviously things you can do like buy a better mic, have a good environment, and things like that, but sometimes you just need to take what you got and make it sound better and more professional. Recently, I picked up a new microphone to put on top of my 5D Mark IV there to use not only in this situation just to sync up my audio from the Blue Yeti with the 5D Mark IV audio, but also just to have as a run and gun mic kind of for vlogging type stuff or just being outside filming other things where I need a decent mic sitting on top of my camera. And I'll pop a picture up on the screen of what that is. It's a Taxar SGC 598. Pretty good mic, I'm happy with it, but you can always do a little bit of processing to make it sound even better. So I've already gone ahead and filmed a sample clip for us to use with the 5D Mark IV and the Taxar mic on top there. I brought it into DaVinci Resolve, so let's jump over to Resolve. I'm going to show you the tools that I use for pretty much every audio clip, whether it's the Yeti, my lav mic, or this mic that we're going to be working with here. Oh, and real quick, before we jump into DaVinci Resolve, you're going to want to use some good headphones or some good speakers if you got them, because that's the best way for you to hear the little differences we're going to be making in our audio. I'll leave a link to the ones that I have here in the description below. These are a Sony. I've had them for years. They work really well. I like them a lot. But you can use whatever headphones you might have. It's going to probably do a better job than just your computer speakers. But if you don't have any good headphones or good speakers, go ahead and use your laptop or your computer speakers, and you're still going to hear a difference in the sound, and I think you can still get better audio and make it sound more professional. All right, let's jump into Resolve. All right, so here we are in DaVinci Resolve. I've got my clip in here. I haven't done anything to it yet, nor have I tried to do anything. So I'm going to be going through this the first time with you guys here, and we're going to see how we can make this clip sound better and more professional. Again, keep in mind the microphone that I was using on top of my 5D Mark IV for this clip was $27. So we're going to try and make this sound as best we can and see what happens here. All right, so let's play through this clip here and see what we have to start with. What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new microphone or I move to a new location, this is the process that I use to make my audio sound better and more professional. Okay, so that's the clip without anything done to it, and we can hear it sounds a little quiet, and actually let's check our meters while we're playing through. And I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio... So we can see it's only coming around 20 to 30 on the meter here. We want that to peak at, say, around 10, maybe -8 is usually what I go for. So in order to get it in that range quick and easy, I'm going to come and select my clip. I'm going to right click, and I want to come to Normalize Audio Levels. And I usually use -8 as my target level, and I'm going to go ahead and click Normalize. So in a nutshell, what that normalization does is raises or lowers your clip so that the highest level in that clip matches whatever your target was. So my target was -8 decibels on my meter. Maybe this is the highest peak in this clip, so that peak would be at -8. So let's play through and see where we're falling on our meters now. What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio. So you saw in the beginning it did peak up, and where these lines stay, that's kind of where a peak is. So if I come back to the beginning, what's up, guys? Just got... And you can see it peaked up here around that -8. So it looks like that is the highest level. So you can think of normalizing as setting that peak level for your clip. So now looking at the clip as I come ahead here, and I'm going to show you my... And I play through, I notice that it's in that 10 to 15 range, which is good. That's where I want my audio clip to be. In that no lower than -15 on my meter and no higher than that -8 that I had originally set it at. So now that I quickly normalize that audio clip to set my peak level at that -8, I want to jump over into the Fairlight tab and start working with some of the other tools in Fairlight. Now keep in mind you can get way more detailed to adjust the levels of your clip using keyframes and all that kind of stuff. Generally, I don't do that. For me, it's not worth the time to do that. And this method works good enough for me. So let's jump into the Fairlight tab. Click on the little musical notes here at the bottom. Just going to go ahead and bring up my clip a little bit, make it a little bigger here. Okay, so the first thing that I usually do is come into my dynamics. So if you come over to your mixer, if you don't see your mixer, you have a little toggle button on top here. You come down and you want to come to dynamics. And if you don't see your dynamics here for some reason, look at these three little buttons here. And it's got all the different items that you can see here. Make sure dynamics is checked on. So double click on dynamics. So with the dynamics window open here, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the compressor. So the compressor is going to compress your audio once it gets past a certain point or threshold. And that's going to help limit your audio from peaking or going above a certain level that you choose. So with the compressor turned on, the next thing I want to do is take a look at my makeup. And just as a quick way to think of makeup, you can think about it as boosting the volume. So the more you push up here, we can see our graph rises, and it's going to make your clip louder. Now you can see if I go too far, we get a red line here, and that means that your audio is going to be clipping, or your track is clipping. So you're going to be peaking, and you don't want that. So a few ways you can handle that. You can either bring the makeup back down, or if, say, you're way up here and if for whatever reason it needs to be there, you can come and take your ratio and drop it down and drop it down. You can see the ratio changes the amount of your compression here. So I'm going to go ahead and reset that. I'm going to bring my makeup back down till the compressor is just before that 0 dB. All right, so I boosted my makeup a little bit. We can see it increase the overall volume, I'll call it, of the clip. Let's play through the clip, watch the meters, and kind of see where our clip falls. New microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new microphone or... So I can see now my levels are coming up higher. It's a little more consistent in where it sits. And if you wanted, you could even turn that ratio up a little bit on the compressor. And let me play through that, see how the meters look with that. I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new microphone or I move to a new location, this is the process that I use to make my audio sound better and more professional. Okay, so I think that's pretty good starting point right there. So I'm going to leave that as it is. Next, I want to come down and click on this send button. The send button tells DaVinci Resolve to send the signal of this channel out to any other channels that may be listening. So why is that useful? It's useful because let's say you want to lay a music track below your video and below your talking. Well, when you send out this signal, you can go on to your music track and tell your music track to listen to this track. And you can use your dynamics to set your music track to duck the audio underneath any talking that comes on this track. Might sound a little confusing. We'll save that for another video. But audio ducking is something really cool. It's a great feature here in DaVinci Resolve. So you want to make sure you have this send button turned on in case you want to use it for audio ducking later on. The next thing in the dynamics panel that I like to take a look at here is the expander and the gate. So this just has to do with the dynamic range of your clip. You can see if I turn on the expander, it's going to drop those levels down once it gets past a certain point. So I can usually turn up my threshold here to anywhere between 25 and 30. And this is also going to help get rid of some background noise if you have any. So I don't know if I left a big enough spot where we'd hear background noise, but let's play through the clip here with the expander on. I'll turn it on and off while the video is playing, and you can see if you hear a difference. What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. All right, I'm just going to see if I have a little extra dead space here at the end of the clip, so we can try the expander there. Professional. Anytime I get a new microphone or I move to a new location, this is the process that I use to make my audio sound better and more professional. So you can see the difference right there. So the expander does help knock down some of that background noise, the staticky kind of noise that you hear. And if the expander isn't doing enough to get rid of that, you can come in and use a gate. So the gate says anything below my threshold, drop or reduce that volume so I don't hear it, or so it's just reduced and not as loud. For example, let's just leave the default settings here. I'm going to play this static area with the gate off, and then I'm going to turn the gate on and see how it sounds. So you can hear the difference there. And if we look at our meters, let me bring this back here. Bring dynamics over. Now watch our gain reduction here. I'm going to turn the gate off. And you can see how much it's reducing here of that background noise. So how does that sound when we play through our clip? Well, let's come to the beginning. We'll leave the gate on at the default settings and play and see how it sounds. What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the... Okay, so you can see it's cutting in and out a lot, and that doesn't sound good at all. So what would I do there? I might bring the threshold down a little bit. I might bring the range back up so it's not cutting it out as much once we get below that threshold. And you can also come down and adjust your attack, hold, and release. And I'm not going to go into the specifics of all of them now, but let's just boost them up a little bit. And you can see how that sounds. I'll leave the attack where it is. Bring the release up a little bit. And let's just see how that sounds.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here. And I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new microphone or I move to a new...
And we're going to fast forward here, but you can see in between the breaks where I'm talking, it'll reduce or cut out that background noise or background hiss. So you have to play with the settings and get a setting that works good for your particular clip. But the idea is that it reduces that background noise between your clips and anywhere where you're not talking. So let's just play through this last little bit here and see how it sounds.
More professional.
And you can hear it cut out right there. So the gate works really good. I use it almost all the time. I may not use it as much as we're doing right here, but I definitely use the gate a lot because there's always a little bit of background noise that maybe you want to get rid of, whether it's static, fuzz, whatever it might be. You want to get rid of it, and the gate does a good job of taking care of that. So I adjusted it just a little bit more there, and now let's move on to the next step. So now I just want to play through. I want to watch my meters and make sure that I've got good levels, that my levels look good, they're not dipping and dropping a lot, that it's fairly consistent. And I just want to see overall, where are my levels on the meter here? And again, I want to be in that 10 to 15 range with a max of around 8, and preferably closer to 10 so that I've got the volume that I want once the video is finished here. So let's play through and just kind of watch the meters and see where we're at.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new microphone...
So it looks like it's peaking a little higher than I want, so I may even come back into my dynamics and bring it down a little bit, boost up my compressor. So this is all stuff that you got to play with and find out what works best for your clip. And I'm just trying to give you an idea of my workflow and how I go through each one of these tools here. All right, next up is an important one. Next one is EQ. So sometimes when you're scrolling over here on your track, you can't get to the ones you want. I don't know why that is, but if you can't get there, click on these little dots and turn off some of these guys. I'm going to turn off inputs. And okay, now I can get to the EQ here. So go ahead and double click on your EQ. So I think almost every clip can benefit from a little bit of EQ. I'm going to give you some basic tips here. Again, you're going to have to go through because every microphone is different. Every recording situation is different. You're just going to have to try things and see what works best for your clip. But one of the good things is once you figure it out, if you're recording in the same places or the same ways, you can save a preset, apply that preset next time, and you're good to go. So the first thing I always do is turn on band 1, which is your high pass filter. So it means it's going to cut all these frequencies below a certain level. It's going to cut all those out. So I usually roll that guy on up to about 100. And you're not going to need anything below that. That's it's just a frequency that's just going to make your audio sound muddy. The next thing I do is come to band 6. I'm going to turn that on, and I usually roll that back to, say, around 10,000, because this is where you get some hissing sometimes or just high-pitched unwanted noise. So turning on your band 6 and this low-pass filter here usually does a good job of knocking out some of those highs. So let's play through. I'm going to turn the EQ off, and with just these two changes, let's see if we can hear the difference.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new microphone...
So I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it sounds just a little bit cleaner to me. And it's all these little changes that we're going to do that add up to making a big difference between your unprocessed audio clips and your final audio clips. So it does make a little bit of a difference there, and I think we're going in the right direction on the EQ here. So the next thing that I do is I just start going through my bands, and I want to find frequencies where there's things that sound bad. So how do we do that? So let's start with our band 2 here. I'm going to change my type to the second one down. So first you have frequency here. That's going to tell you what frequency are you at. The next one down is your gain. So are you raising the level of that frequency, or are you reducing the level of that frequency? And then you have your Q factor. So if I just boost this up, the Q factor tells you what is the spread of the frequencies being affected. So do I want just a few frequencies affected by my change, or do I want a lot of them affected? And just depends on the situation as what you want to use. So in order to find frequencies that are bad, you want to play through your clip and you're going to sweep the audio is what I call it. So you're basically going to grab your point, you're going to boost it all the way up, sweep around until you find something that doesn't sound good, it sounds bad, you're like, ooh, that sounds extra bad. and we're going to stop, and then we're going to reduce that signal. So let's play through the clip and see if we can find something that sounds bad.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new microphone or I move to a new location, this is the process that I use to make my audio sound better and more.
So there's something right around here that doesn't sound good, around 473. I'm going to come back and try a little lower and see if I can find anything lower on our frequency scale here. So let's come back here. We're going to play through and see if we find anything lower that doesn't sound good.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new microphone or I move to a new location.
So right about there sounds like there could be something that sounds worse than the areas around it. So I'm going to start there and just drop that down a little bit. We're going to say maybe 5 decibels and see how that sounds.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio.
All right, so I'm just going to leave that there. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this with the 3rd point here as well as the 4th point and see if I find any other areas that don't sound good. Again, I'm going to come and boost up my Q on band 3. I'm going to boost up my gain. I'm going to play through the clip. And I know that generally around 1,000 to 2,000 kilohertz here, you're going to find something that doesn't sound good. Most of your vocals are going to be in that 1,000 to 2,000 range. And the tone of your voice just will dictate where exactly that'll fall. But let's play through and see if we can find something that sounds bad for my voice here.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new mic.
So right about there doesn't sound so good. So I'm going to drop that down a little bit. And how much you drop these down is really just based on sound. So I'm going to play through and just do whatever I think sounds good.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better.
All right, and then I'm going to do the same with point 4 here. And like I said, usually somewhere around the 1 to 2,000 range, you're going to find something that doesn't sound so good. So let's see what I can find here.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new microphone or I move to a new location, this is the process that I use to make my audio sound better and.
So I feel like I'm finding 2 bad spots here, or things that don't sound so hot. It's a little over 2 and a little under 1. So I'm just going to play it again, see which one of those I want to try and bring down, and go from there.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio.
All right, so I think that sounds pretty good. Now let's play with it off and on.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my work.
Okay, it sounds like it could use a little more low end, so let's see if I bring this 2 back up a little bit.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional.
So I think that sounded a little bit better. Again, the microphone was a little far away from me, so it sounds a little distant. Okay, there's going to be things that we can't fix, but, overall, we got to try and just make it sound better. One thing I can try is just to bring up that number 2 point again. Let's just see if that helps at all. I'm going to reduce my Q so it brings up those low frequencies to bring a little more body to my voice maybe.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new microphone.
So I think that sounded a little bit better to me anyway. I hope you guys can hear the difference too. So I'm going to go ahead and close the EQ. We're just going to settle with that for now. And the next thing that I want to move on to is a multi-band compressor. So I'm going to click on the effects. I'm going to come down to dynamics and then Fairlight effects and over to multi-band compressor. So generally I'll start out with the default settings here and see how that sounds and then decide if I need to make any changes. A lot of times the default settings work pretty good. So let's just play through. I'm going to turn it off and play through and then we'll turn it on and see if you can hear the difference.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional.
So I think I want to bring this over a little bit. So the line you see in the background, that's actually your vocal track or whatever track you're listening to. So that shows you where the frequencies are falling so you can make adjustments to your different bands here if you need to.
Anytime I get a new microphone or I move to a new location, this is the process that I use to make my audio sound better and more.
So let's say I wanted to bring this back a little bit. I'm on band 3 here, and you can just grab the gain and dial it back a little bit. And as you make some of the adjustments here, you've got all kinds of different tools. I'm not going to cover all of them right now. If you're interested, leave a comment down below, and I can always go over this more later. But you can make small adjustments here to your different bands. The gain is maybe the one you'll be most concerned with. So as you make these adjustments, it's going to make the volume a little lower. So you always need to come and boost it back up a little bit. So let's turn it off, play a little, and then turn it back on and see if we can hear the difference.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new microphone or I move...
So the multiband compressor can really help even it out and just give it a fuller sound, at least I think. So I think for now I'll just leave these settings where they are and dial this back a little, maybe to take out that echo noise. Maybe actually I'm going to bring back that band 4 just a little. Let's play that one more time and see how that sounds.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new microphone or I move to a new location, this is the process that I use to make my audio sound better and more professional.
All right, so I think that sounded better than the original, so I'm just going to leave the multiband compressor at that. Close that. Now the next tool that I want to do is come down to the effects, and generally I always apply a De-Esser. So if you come down to Noise Reduction, Fairlight, and De-Esser. So usually I'll just start with the default. I'll come down to Male ESS. And then I'll change this to the little tight frequency here, and I'll play through, see how it sounds, and sometimes I'll reduce this. So with the amount slider here, I'll bring it back up because it doesn't always need to be so low. But let's just see if we can hear a difference, and we're going to watch our meter here to see when those S's are being reduced.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new microphone or I move to a new location,
so I dialed it back just a little bit, but you can see it's working to reduce the harsh sound of the S's there. So I always use the De-Esser. I just think helps clean it up a little bit and gets rid of those harsh S's that you can sometimes get. Now, sometimes, depending on your clip, you may have a lot of background noise, and if you do, you may need to try and remove some of that background noise. Check out the link above here that I'll have pop up on the screen. Go check out the video where I did a whole video about noise reduction and some of the techniques you can use to reduce that background noise. So check that out if you need to reduce your background noise. So there are other tools in here that you can use. These are the main ones that I use on every one of my audio tracks for my YouTube videos here. There are some other handy ones sometimes you can use if you check out the dialogue processor here. So in the dialogue processor here, they've got a bunch of different things that you can use to work with your audio, and it's a more simplified version of some of the tools that we did use already. So you can try these out. Sometimes it works. You got to play with it and see what sounds best for for your audio clips. And they do have a female default and a male default. You can try those out and see how that works. But generally, I don't really use this too much. I like to just use the few tools that we already talked about. Some of the other tools in here that you may need once in a while, you have reverb here. If you've got a really dry sound, you need to add a little bit of reverb. You can add that in. Again, you have all your noise correction tools and just some different tools here that you can work with. And under uncategorize, if you do have the option of adding VST plugins, or I'm not sure what the AU stands for, but I do have a bunch of plugins here from Acusonos. I'll leave a link at the top of the video. You can go check those out if you want. They're pretty good and work well on our videos here too. So you can check those out and add any of your own aftermarket plugins that you want right here in DaVinci Resolve. So you can use all those too. So now I just want to quickly copy this down to another track here. I'm going to play the before and then the after, and tell me what you think. Leave a comment down below. Does it sound better? All right, so let's play through. Here is the before clip, and then we're going to play the after, and you tell me if you notice a difference. Leave a comment down below. Curious to see if you can hear it or not. All right, let's play. Here's the before clip.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new microphone or I move to a new location, this is the process that I use to make my audio sound better and more professional.
Okay, that's the before, so I'm going to go ahead and mute that. And now we want to come and play the after clip. Let's see how it sounds. Hopefully, it sounds better. Let's try it.
What's up, guys? Just got a new microphone on top of the 5D Mark IV here, and I'm going to show you my workflow to make my audio sound better and more professional. Anytime I get a new microphone or I move to a new location, this is the process that I use to make my audio sound better and more professional.
So I don't know about you guys. I think this does sound a lot better than our original clip. I would go through and spend a little more time maybe working with the dynamics and stuff and coming up with some better settings, but I didn't want to drag it out too long here for you guys. I want you to get the idea of my workflow, the tools that I use, and how I make it sound more professional. All right, guys, so there you go. That is how I work with my clips here in DaVinci Resolve. That's my workflow, the tools that I usually use. So what'd you think? Did you hear a difference? Did you like it? Did you not? Do you think it sounds better? Does it sound more professional? Leave a comment down below. I'm curious to see what you guys think. And if you had a chance to try out this workflow on any of your clips, how did it work out? Does it work? Did your audio sound more professional? Let me know. I'm really curious to see how it works for you guys. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and you like this kind of stuff and you want to see more of it. Make sure you hit that little bell notification button so you get notified when I put out new videos too. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.